What is the biggest mistake homeschoolers make and how can you avoid it? Hi, I'm Cheryl, and I'm probably a lot like you. I was the hesitant homeschooler, never thought I would homeschool my kids. I still actually can't believe I'm doing it, but it's awesome. I started out on a quest 2 years ago to find out everything there is about homeschooling. I started interviewing homeschooling families, and I started a podcast and made these episodes available for all of you to listen to. But 100 episodes can take a little while to go through, so I decided to compile all that awesome information into some videos to help you out to become the confident homeschooler that you know you want to be. So what is the biggest mistake homeschoolers make and how can you avoid it? Well, this one is easy. Replicating school at home. There is a reason you left that system or a reason that you want to leave the system. And if you just replicate it at home, you're gonna butt heads with your kid. Even though I was talking to homeschooling family after homeschooling family that told me, don't do this, don't do it. I got the curriculums and I said, okay, every morning from 9 to 3, we're sitting here and going through each and every bit of the curriculum. And what I soon discovered was that that leads to fighting, book throwing, crying on both ends. I won't tell you who threw the book. It led to argument after argument, and it made learning so not fun. And it shouldn't be that way, right? We have these little people that we want to create a love for learning in, and we want them to yearn for more. So if we're telling them to sit down and read the textbook and repeat after me and then write, the letter A 50 times in your workbook, they are gonna not like it. And you know what? It's replicating school, and there's a reason we pulled them from that broken system. So what can you do? My initial recommendation to everybody and what's been told to me before is don't even worry about the curriculums. Let them come kind of as you see how your child learns best. But, and also when you use a curriculum, just let it guide you. You can skip parts. I have OCD, so skipping a part to me is like, oh my God, I'm missing out on something, or it's not going to feel completed once we're done. But you know what? This is what homeschooling is all about. If your kid has mastered a concept, or you don't feel that it's relevant, or it's something you want to come back to later because they are actually having a really hard time with it, just let it go, skip that part. You can come back, you can never come back to it. It doesn't even matter. There are some states that you might have to take an exam each year or every other year, but those are often proctored by the parent and doesn't have to be as stressful as it sounds. So as long as you're kind of keeping on track, you don't have to have every little bit. I mean, think about the classroom. There's 30 kids, one teacher, they're screaming, they're never settling down, someone's always doing something disruptive in the back. How much of that do you think is actually being taken in by all of the students? Not a lot of it. So having that one-on-one attention to see where your child is and what you can skip and what they need and what they don't. But also, if you don't even want to get into the box curriculum, I would say don't even do that the first year or two. Just use book lists from, say, Read Aloud Revival. Sarah Mackenzie has an awesome book list on there. I use them all the time, and I order them to come right to my library. I get about 30 books at a time, and we read that for the month. We make sure to go out in nature, take nature walks, do a scavenger hunt, look for this, find 3 acorns, find a rock bigger than your hand, find a branch longer than your arm. All of these little things get the kids actually looking around at nature and makes it fun for them. It makes it a game. Looking for animal tracks. Right now it's snowing where we are, so my son takes his camera out and we take pictures of the animal tracks and then go back later on the internet or a book to try to find out what animal it was. Listening to birds, and you can use the Merlin app. It's free. When you hear a bird, you can just have the app record the sound of the bird and it'll tell you what bird that is. So then you can use that to go to your library or go on the internet and research that bird. What kind is it? Where do they originate from? How long do they live? What are their mating habits? Where do they nest? All of nature and everything right around us is where the learning takes place, right? It doesn't take place from a boxed curriculum. And I know you want to get that boxed curriculum. I know it, because you want to make sure your kid is not falling behind because you love your kid, and that's perfectly understandable. But I promise you, you're probably going to butt heads when you initially start the boxed curriculum. So do so at your own risk. That said, there are some things that we just can't teach our kids because we haven't learned it yet. So I use that stuff to learn myself, and it's really a beautiful way. And also we use games a lot in our house, and we use them for fun, for bonding, and for learning. So I have a video coming up about different games that you can use for different topics, and that is just something I never even thought about before we started this journey homeschooling, and I'm so happy that we did. It's brought so much joy to our household. So in a nutshell, do not replicate school at home. I mean, you can have them stand up and do the Pledge of Allegiance, but all the rest you can throw out. All right, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it useful. Be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so that you don't miss upcoming content. And don't forget to check out my podcast, The Homeschool How-To Interviews with Homeschoolers. And I will see you in the next video.